Good day, this is Teacher Rowan. I'll be your guide in exploring Google Apps for education, for teaching and learning. In Google for Education, teachers can connect and collaborate easily while staying on task. It gives teachers the freedom to spend more time personalizing the learning experience and less time managing it. Students can learn essential skills such as 21st century problem solving, which they can use it in their future careers. As such, the accessibility features will also help and assist every learner to do their best work. Google offers different useful applications that we can use to connect education to technology. This will help our teachers as a 21st century educators to innovate and find ways on how to make teaching and learning more exciting, engaging, effective, and flexible to the demands of the society. Let's re-explore the education experience by discovering new angles to create, collaborate, and communicate as one. Para sa bata, para sa bayan, at para sa guro. Ang pagkatuto, huwag gawing komplikado. Sulong edukalidad.
Cognizant to the needs of our learners, parents, and teachers, the Department of Education provided us with powerful tools for productivity that will allow us to foster critical thinking skills, problem-solving skills, communication and collaboration skills to be compassionate, responsible global citizens. Join us and discover new ideas in our series of professional development training program with the ICT's Edtech Unit and Microsoft Education Philippines. Together, we will equip our learners and empower our fellow educators for a dynamic future. Para sa bata, para sa bayan, at para sa guro. Sulong edukalidad.
Magandang araw, Sir Wilbur po, at your service. Narito ang ETUlay upang gabayan ka sa inyong pag-aaral upang lubos na maunawaan ang iba't ibang paksa o subject. Ang ETUlay ay isang free online tutorial class na pinangungunahan ng ICT's Educational Technology Unit sa pamumuno ni Undersecretary Elaine Del B. Pascua. Ang programang ito ay hindi lamang para sa mga bata, kundi ito rin ay magsisilbing gabay sa mga magulang at mga guro kung paano nila ituturo o gagabayan sa bawat asignatura ang kanilang mga anak o mga estudyante. Sa kasalukuyan, ang self-learning module mula sa rehiyon ng Calabarzon at kilala sa tawag na pivot ang ginagamit sa ating ETUlay online class. Kaya ano pang hinihintay ninyo? Ihanda na ang inyong mga ballpen o lapis, papel o kwaderno at samahan kaming itulay ang pagkatuto para sa bawat batang Pilipino. Sama-sama tayong magtutulungan para malampasan ang mga hamon sa panahong ito. Halina't matuto kasama ang inyong online tutor sa oras na ito.
Isang napakagandang Lunes na hapon sa lahat ng ating mga masugid na taga-subaybay dito sa ETUlay SHS Physical Science. Kami po ay, sana po ay maganda pong hapon ninyo habang sinusubaybayan nyo po ang ating tutorial session sa ngayong oras na 4 to 4:40 in the afternoon, kada Lunes. Welcome to another ETUlay session po. Tutor Lester at your service. Today, we are on the third quarter, week number 7. Ang ating pong paksa ngayong hapon ay How Energy is Produced and Managed na mula sa week 7 coverage ng pivot modules ng Calabarzon. The objectives for today's tutorial session are the following. Describe the different sources of energy. Give a brief summary of how energy is produced from different sources. Differentiate between renewable and non-renewable sources of energy, and outline the pros and cons of the different sources of energy. Simulan po natin ang ating tutorial session ngayong hapon sa isang pretest na may 5 katanungan po lamang. Question number 1. It can be converted in form but not created nor destroyed. A. Atom. B. Energy. C. Force. D. Matter. Ang tamang sagot po ay B. Energy. Question number 2. Energy that comes from sources that will run out or will not be replenished in our lifetimes, or even in many lifetimes. A. Kinetic. B. Non-renewable. C. Potential. D. Renewable. Ang tamang sagot po ay B. Non-renewable. Question number 3. Organic matter from plants and animals. A. Batteries. B. Biomass. C. Geothermal. D. Wind power. Ang tamang sagot po ay letter B. Biomass. Question number 4. It includes hydrocarbons such as coal, oil, and natural gas that comes from organic remains of prehistorical organisms. A. Batteries. B. Biogas. C. Fossil fuels. D. Solar power. Ang tamang sagot po ay C. Fossil fuels. The main source of energy in the Visayas region. A. Geothermal. B. Hydroelectric. C. Natural gas. D. Wind power. Tamang sagot po ay geothermal. Right? So let us now formally start the tutorial session on the topic how energy is produced and managed. So itong tatlong pie charts na ito, this tells us the percentage of the power generated in Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. And as mentioned, or as you can read in our slide, ang electricity po natin ay nakasource sa following energy sources. Coal fire, natural gas, oil, geothermal, hydro, and other unspecified sources. Okay, kung hindi po masyadong klaro ang pie charts, then okay, ito po yung data from the chart in the tabular form. So makikita po natin dito ang sources of energy and the percentage of use per the group of islands of Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. And basing on the table po, how dependent po is Luzon with coal and gas in energy generation? Alright, so makikita po natin in the chart that Luzon is very dependent with coal and natural gas in terms of energy generation. Sa Visayas naman, ano po ang pinakamalaking energy source? Alright, so sa Visayas, makikita po natin that our biggest energy source are the following. Coal at 42% and geothermal at 49%. Other sources of energy ay nasa, okay, for oil, nasa 7% and other unspecified sources at 2%. Sa Mindanao naman po, ano naman po ang pinakamalaking energy source nila doon? So as you can see in the chart, ang hydro po ang pinakamalaking source ng electricity or the source of power generation in Mindanao. So now let us define what a power plant is. So ano po itong power plant? So a power plant, this is an industrial facility. So this industrial facility generates electricity from primary energy sources. So gaya ng mga sources na na-mention po natin sa previous slides. So kalimitan, most of this power plant have one or more generators. So ano po itong generators? So these generators convert mechanical energy into electrical energy in order to supply power to the electrical grid. Ang exception lamang po dito is the solar power. So sa solar power po, hindi po sila gumagamit ng generator. The solar power uses photovoltaic cells instead of a turbine to generate electricity. So the type of primary fuel or primary energy flow that provides a power plant, its primary energy varies. Okay, ito na po yung na-mention po natin kanina. So some of the fuel includes the following. We have coal, okay, natural gas, and uranium. Pero sa Pilipinas, hindi po tayo gumagamit ng uranium as fuel for power plant. Though, meron po tayong nuclear power plant pero hindi po operational. Right. So, okay, so electrical sources can be broken down into two major groups. So, dalawa po ang major groups when it comes to electrical sources. So, we have the renewables and the non-renewables. So, ano pong mga energy sources ang makukonsider natin na renewable? Okay, when we say renewable, okay, ito po yung mga sources that can be replenished within our lifetime. So, ang common examples po nito, itong mga renewables are the following. Okay, wind energy, solar energy, geothermal. How about sa non-renewable? Okay, sa non-renewable, it includes some of these energy sources. We have, okay, coal fire and oil. So these non-renewable energy sources, okay, kaya po sila tinatawag na non-renewable dahil hindi po natin napapalitan by natural means ang mga sources na ito. Right? So atin po isa-isahin kung ano po, let us discuss in detail ang mga renewable sources po natin. Okay? So we have geothermal. So ano po ang geothermal source? Geothermal as a source of energy. So geothermal, ginagamit po nito ang init mula sa kailaliman ng lupa. So this utilizes the heat energy from the Earth's crust. Ang init po na ito ay nagpapainit po ng groundwater o yung tubig na nasa ilalim po ng lupa. Ito pong Malitbog Geothermal Power Station, okay, ito po ang example ng pinakamalaking geothermal power plant na nasa isang location po lamang. Matatagpuan po itong geothermal power plant sa Malitbog, Cananga, Leyte. So paano po nakakapag-produce ng electricity using geothermal energy? So alright, so makikita po natin dito sa illustration na ito, okay, we have here how energy is generated using geothermal energy, right? So energy is harnessed where, okay, to generate electricity. So how? So water is injected in the deep underground. Okay, there is water injected from these injection walls, and dahil mainit po, so this water returns as steam. And this steam is used to drive a turbine that turns the generator to produce electricity. So geothermal energy is less of an environmental hazard kung ikukumpara po natin sa ibang fuel source. Though it still has some emissions of carbon dioxide, nitrous oxide, and sulfur dioxide. Ito po ang mga power plants na operational po dito sa Pilipinas. So we have the following: Malibara, which is located in Santo Tomas, Batangas; Macban in Laguna. We have one in Albay. Okay. Bacman or Bacon Manito in Sorsogon. Malitbog, Southern Negros Geoproduction Field, Nasulo Geopower Plant, and Palimpinon Geopower Plant, which are found in Valencia, Negros Occidental. And now let's proceed to hydroelectric source. So hydroelectric power is derived from the energy of falling water. So hydroelectric power plants produces electricity by utilizing the energy of flowing water. So in a hydroelectric plant, okay, a turbine converts the kinetic energy of falling water into the kinetic energy of falling water into mechanical energy, in which the mechanical energy is converted into electrical energy. Right? Okay, so ito po yung illustration that discusses in detail how electricity is generated in a hydroelectric power plant. All right. So so this is the water flow. Okay, ang lakas po ng water flow will turn this turbine, in which this turbine will turn the generator. At kapag and when this generator turns, electricity is produced, which is then then step up by a transformer. So ito po yung mga operational hydroelectric power plants na makikita po natin dito sa Pilipinas. So we have, Palakpakin Hydropower Plant located in San Pablo, Laguna. And Balugbong Hydropower Plant in Laguna. And Cantingas Hydropower Plant in San Fernando, Romblon. Right. Okay. We proceed to wind power. So a wind turbine, gaya na nakikita nyo po sa illustration, so this can generate megawatts of power, which depends on the weather condition. Kapag medyo mahangin, so it can generate lots of power. So wind turbines generate or harness the power of the wind, which turns the propeller blades in order to generate electricity. So paano po na-generate ang kuryente using these wind turbines? Alright, so in this next slide, okay, let us watch this short video. Okay.
Kinetic energy in the wind causes the blades to rotate. The rotor drives a low-speed shaft, and by using a gearbox, the speed of the shaft is amplified. This high-speed shaft drives a generator which converts kinetic energy into electricity. A frequency converter synchronizes the generated electricity to the grid.
Alright. So kapag mahangin, kapag mahangin po, gumagalaw po itong propeller blades ng wind turbines, and these propeller blades are connected to the generator which generates electricity. Okay, dahil direct current po ang napoproduce ng wind turbine, so this current produced by the wind turbine is converted into alternating current in the inverter. Okay. So sa Pilipinas, may ilan po tayong operational wind farms. So meron po tayo sa Ilocos Norte, the famous Bangi Wind Farm. We have the Burgos Wind Farm, from Ilocos Norte rin po. Caparis-Pisan Wind Farm, okay, from Ilocos Norte. We have wind energy power system located in Oriental Mindoro. And San Lorenzo Wind Farm found in Guimaras. And the Navas Wind Farm in Aklan. And lastly, we have the Pililla Wind Farm found in Rizal. Okay, we'll proceed to solar power. Okay, so kung ang mga tanim po ay nakakapag-photosynthesize gamit ang sunlight, ang mga teknolohiya po natin ngayon ay nakakagamit rin ng sunlight in order to convert this sunlight into energy. So, ito po ang solar power. So, ang solar power po, ito po ay isang variable energy source. Okay. So, this is dependent on the cycle of the sun. So dito po sa Pilipinas, dahil malapit po tayo dito sa equator, marami po tayong potential sites where we can install this solar farm, solar power farm, and harness energy coming from the sun. So paano po nakaka-generate ng electricity ang mga solar panels? So remember, these solar panels do not use generators unlike the other energy sources. So in solar power, the solar panels convert sunlight into energy, okay, in the sequence na makikita nyo po sa ating slide. So ang photons po coming from the sunlight stimulate the electrons of the silicon atoms na nasa loob po ng ating mga solar panels. And then these panels harvest electricity in the form of direct current. So, direct current po ang napoproduce na electricity dito sa ating mga solar panels. And paano po nagagamit sa mga bahay ang direct current na napoproduce sa mga solar panels? So, these are converted into alternating current through the inverter. So, kapag na-convert na into alternating current, ang direct current, the alternating current that is produced, that is converted from the solar panels is then sent to the grid. Na yun po ang ginagamit na sa mga bahay. Meron po ba tayong mga operational solar power dito sa Pilipinas? Alright, meron po. So this includes the following. Okay, we have Lian Solar Power in Batangas. And we have also in Calatagan. And in Cavite Economic Zone, solar power found in Rosario and General Trias, Cavite. And we have CW, Home Depot, Power and Central Mall found in Binyan, Laguna. So biomass is also one of the renewable energy source. So sa biomass po, the organic matter from plants and animals are used for energy generation. So paano po ginagamit ang organic matter from these plants and animals? All right. So dito makikita po natin dito in this illustration. So we have, okay, example, organic waste. Okay, ito po yung mga basura galing sa mga pananim, galing sa dumi, at galing sa basura na nabubulok po lamang. So, ito po, ginagamit po ito para pag-generate ng electricity. Pwede rin po gamitin yung rice husk at yung bagaso na siyang sinusunog para siya pong sinusunog in order to boil water in the boilers in the power plants. So the steam from the boilers is used to run turbines in which these turbines drive the generators to produce electricity. So ang kahoy po magagamit rin po as a biomass fuel. So as long as we replenish all the trees that we cut, so biomass can be a sustainable energy source. So ang biomass po is, ito rin po ang ginagamit in order to create methane and alcohol. So this methane and alcohol are also used as fuel in the energy production. Actually, ginagamit na rin po siya in powering automobiles. So paano po napoproduce ang methane at alcohol? So the production of this biogas fuel, methane and alcohol, involves the action of microorganisms that breaks down organic matter. So dito po sa slide nito, pinapakita po dito kung paano po ginagamit ang biomass to generate electricity. Alright, so meron po tayo dito, we have here the combustion kung saan sinusunog po ang kahoy. For example, ito po ang, in this power plant, ginagamit po dito ang kahoy para sunugin, which serves as fuel to boil the water in the boiler. So kapag kumulo po ang tubig, this water is converted into steam. So itong steam po, this turns the turbines in which these turbines turn the generator to produce electricity. Okay. So now we'll proceed to the non-renewable sources. So ito pong non-renewable sources, so this includes the following. We have coal, oil, and gas. So these are being used as fuel to generate electricity. So these coal, oil, and gas are called as fossil fuels. So these have been formed over the last 600 million years. Kaya po sila tinatawag na fossil fuel because these are from the fossilized remain of plants and animals during the prehistoric times and contains, of course, biomass. So when these trees, plants, and animals died, so these were covered in layers of silt and sand, gradually becoming into coal, oil, and natural gas deposits. So let us state some facts on energy generation. So 69% po ng power needs dito sa Pilipinas ay derived from fossil fuels. So ibig sabihin po, 69% of our energy needs is derived from power plants that use fossil fuels. And 75% of the world's energy need is generated by, of course, the burning of this fossil fuel. So, with this percentage, ano po ang sinasabi nitong percentage sa inyo with regards to the energy generation and how we are dependent on these fossil fuels? Right. So in this slide, papakita po dito kung paano po ginagamit ang fossil fuels to generate electricity. So basically po, the power plants have all same basic design. Ang nagkakaiba lang po is the fuel. So this is a coal-fired power plant. So ang coal po ang ginagamit na sinusunog po ang coal para in order to boil the waters in the boilers. So the water from the boilers, is converted into steam that turns this turbine, in which these turbines turn the generator in order to transmit power to the transmission lines. Right? So, this is the summary of our session for today. So, our energy needs are sourced from renewable and non-renewable energies. So, the renewable energies include the following: geothermal power, solar, wind, biomass, and water. The non-renewable energy source include the burning of fossil fuels. So both renewable and non-renewable are actually good sources of electricity. So pareho pong may advantage at disadvantage. So for more input as to the advantages and disadvantages, please refer po to this link from Wakilet Collections. So dito po natin makikita ang mga articles and other instructional materials that gives us input into the disadvantages and advantages of using this different source of energy. Right? So let us finish this tutorial session with an assessment. So ito po ay modified true or false assessment. So kapag true po ang sagot, sagutan po natin ng true. At kapag false naman po, let us just change the italicized word to make the statement true. Right. So for question number 1, biomass is used to create methane and alcohol, which are fuels useful in energy production. True or false? Sagot po ay true. Question number 2. Electrical sources can be broken down into 3 major groups. True or false? Sagot po, there are only 2 major groups. Question number 3. Hydroelectric power utilizes heat energy from the Earth's crust. True or false? Tamang sagot po ay geothermal power utilizes heat energy from the Earth's crust. Number 4. Solar energy is abundant, requires low maintenance, and is environmentally friendly. True or false? Tamang sagot po ay true. Number 5. A generator converts the mechanical energy into electrical energy. True or false? Tamang sagot po ay true. Right? At yan po ang ating tutorial session para sa linggong ito. Shout out po dito sa mga guro sa Flora National High School, Apayao Division. At greetings po to Sir Mark Anthony Hamisal of Edtech Unit for passing his Microsoft Office Specialist Certification and Microsoft Certified Educator Certification. Congratulations as well to Ma'am Beverly Nicolasora of SDO Cagayan de Oro, mga kasama po namin sa Microsoft Education Ambassadors for passing her MOS certification in Excel. Right? Once again, this is your tutor for this segment, Tutor Lester. See you next time. Next week, happy Monday po sa ating lahat. Para sa bata, para sa bayan.
Sigurado ako na marami ka na namang natutuhan sa ating ETUlay tutorial session ngayong araw. Tandaan, ito ay hindi lamang para sa ating mga mag-aaral, kundi pati rin sa ating mga minamahal na guro at mga magulang na kaagapay natin para maituloy ang pagkatuto sa kabila ng nararanasang pandemya. Patuloy ding sumubaybay sa DepEd TV para sa mga araling ginawang video episodes. Mapapanood ito mula Lunes hanggang Sabado, alas 7 ng umaga hanggang alas 7 ng gabi sa inyong mga telebisyon. Abangan bukas mula 1:00 ng tanghali ang ibang aralin sa ating ETUlay free online tutorial session sa English. I-like and subscribe at manatiling nakasubaybay sa ating ETUlay tutorial session sa DepEd Edtech Unit FB page at Educational Technology Unit channel sa YouTube at sa DepEd Tayo at DepEd Philippines social media accounts. Paalam!